What's going on, everybody? Only Mike here, and we are back with another tutorial for Quest on Game Creator. So, first what we want to do is open up our project, enlarge my screen again, and this is going to be a quick one. We're just going to eat our mushroom. So, where we left off, though, was that we made an exposure time. So, our exposure increases every second that we start. We made two object types, food and player data, and we also made some scripting for our mushroom. So we can pick it up and drop it, and it looks normal. Okay, because without that, it won't look normal at all. So, first, what we want to do. Oh, and we also added looking at our stack value, which we called stack, and that gives us the volume, how many we have on us. So, if we have none on us and we hit this button, then it's going to say 0. So what we want to do first is open up our mushroom. Okay, we're going to go to object. Okay, and what we're going to do is go down to inventory verbs, click use, and delete that. We don't need that. Okay, it just clutters our inventory verbs and just makes it look yucky. So let's go back over to verbs, and we're going to add. Let's add one and type E, and eat should automatically show up. So we want to eat this. So what are we going to do when we eat this? Instead of print message, we're going to run a script. Okay, and that script that we're going to run is first is add a new script, and we're going to find our if statements. So find if, and if player is carrying object mushroom, then if, add a new script, if object counter, choose object counter mushroom, and we're going to type in that volume, which keeps track of how many mushrooms technically we have in our inventory. And we're going to say greater or equal than 1. Okay, if it's greater or equal than 1, first thing we want to do is let's just print a message. Let's print not great. Oops. If I could spell not great, but it will do. And sorry for the slow typing. If you didn't watch the last video, my keyboard lights have been out for some time now, and yeah, it's very hard to see the keys, so I have to squint to see them, so it's awesome. So anyways, next thing after we print our message, what we want to do is that we want to set a variable. So let's add a new script. We're going to scroll down, and we want to find variables, and we're going to set a variable or attribute. Okay, so let's click that and hit add. So what we want to do before we even put anything in here is that we're going to make sure we got just set variable selected, and we're going to copy it. We're going to paste it twice. Paste and then paste. Okay, so that way we have 3 set variable functions here. So our first set variable function is obviously our hunger. We're eating the mushroom because we're hungry. So let's go. I'm going to type in our player hunger, so which is player dot hunger. Oops, not hunger. There we go. I'm going to type in set player dot hunger, okay, which that is going to pull that variable hunger for us. Okay, so once it pulls it, we want to call it again. So we're going to say player as an expression, player dot hunger. Be sure your naming conventions are correct. Okay, and we're going to add. So what we're going to add, so space, plus sign, we're going to add the mushroom, mushroom dot hunger. Now this right now, if we were to play it and we were to pick up a mushroom right now, it's going to add the value of the mushroom hunger to our player hunger. So if we go over to attributes for our mushroom and we see our hunger is 4. So if we were to play the game right now and if we get lucky and get a mushroom, let's see, do we get lucky? Oh, we got lucky! But we can't exactly do it yet because we're not actually holding the item, so we have to take it first. Okay, now that we have the mushroom in our inventory, now we can eat it. So with the mushroom in our inventory, we click eat, and invalid variable name. Why is there always mistakes when I'm doing these things? Oh, it's probably because I don't have these set already. Okay, so let's delete these here. Let's go and delete those right quick, and then we'll play. So mushroom, let's take it. Alright, so watch our hunger. Our hunger is at 5, so if we eat it, and it went up to 9. So there we go. It's not great, but it will do. So having those other variables that weren't set, they were blank. Yeah, that caused errors. So make sure you don't leave stuff blank and make sure your naming conventions are always correct or it won't work. Okay, so now we can eat the mushroom, but it's still there, so we can just keep eating it. And you see our hunger, it just keeps going up and up and up and up and up and up. Okay, so we don't want that. I mean, it'd be nice, but we don't want that. So what we want to do is let's just go ahead and if you deleted them like I did, let's copy this again and paste it 2 more times. Okay, now instead of on the second one, instead of player.hunger, we're going to do player.thirst. So erased all that, and then we're going to erase all this player.thirst because we're pulling the thirst variable now, and then we're going to call the thirst from the mushroom. And since we're not adding to the thirst, the mushroom doesn't give us thirst. We want to take away this addition sign. So let's delete that and add a subtraction sign. And there we go. It's as easy as that. Now that's going to subtract our thirst from the mushroom thirst. So what was the mushroom thirst again? Is 2. So it will subtract by 2 when we do that. Now we have one more variable that we also set, which was our health. So let's go and set our health. Let's erase these. Health. And we're going to erase this. Type in health. And of course on the mushroom. Mushroom dot, we want health. And we're not going to add health, we're going to subtract health. Because, oops, sorry, wrong button. Where are you? Subtraction button. There you are. Okay, so we're subtracting the health, okay, because it's a mushroom. You don't just eat random mushrooms and like, oh, I'm super healthy now. Okay, so we won't get into that one. Anyways, now what we want to do is add a new script, and what we're going to add is a variable. So go down to variables and find decrease object counter. Let's add. And we're going to add mushroom as our object and counter name volume. because it's only taking one away. We only want to take one from our volume. Okay? So then after that, what we want to do is we want to call, sorry, just looking at some notes here. So then after that, what we want to do is call another feature, which is going to check if the mushroom value or volume is less than 1. If it's less than 1, then we want to get rid of the mushroom out of our inventory. If not, then we can continuously eat mushrooms. So let's take it. So now that we have it, oops, now that we have it, we can, wrong one, stack. Now we have one mushroom. Now if we eat it, watch our hunger and thirst. Okay, our thirst went down to 6, our hunger went up, our health went down. And now it's not working. Oh! That's why it's not working. Okay, so it still won't work, okay, because we're calling our object counter mushroom volume. So if it's not over 1, it's not going to keep calling it. But it's still in our inventory, so we have to get rid of it. So that's my bad. I thought it was just going to keep repeating itself. So that's an extra safety precaution that I put in for myself. But what we want to do is add a new script here, and we're going to call if, and we're going to go object counter. If object counter mushroom volume is less than, we're going to make that a 1, is less than 1, then we want to move object. So add a new script under then, move object. Object is going to be mushroom. And we're going to add it to object room items. Okay? So this is basically like a folder. Okay? So you can think of these extra rooms with where you're holding all your stuff. You can consider that like a folder. Okay, that's where you hold all your stuff that you're not using right away, which is awesome. I love it. It's great. It works fantabulous, I feel personally. Okay, so now that we move the object to the item room, now what we want to do is make sure we didn't go under our volume, which obviously trying to eat this, it doesn't do anything. So, but what we want to do is make sure it's the same. So let's just copy one of these set variables. Let's copy that set variable and we're going to paste it. And let's erase everything. Okay. So, if you wanted to, you could go add new script and find variables and set variable or attribute and add, and we'll just delete that one. There we go. Now, what value are we going to set, or variable are we going to set? We're going to set mushroom dot volume. Okay, and we're going to go expression 0. Okay, so even if this for some reason goes below 0 when you eat it, it's going to automatically make it 0 again. So that way when you go back and you go to pick up the item, it's going to increase it. So you're automatically going to have 1 every single time you do that. So I'm going to go in and show you guys really fast. All I'm going to do is copy this mushroom one and paste it 4 different times. So now we got a chance for 4 mushrooms to pop up. So we can look at this. So boom, we got 4 mushrooms right off the bat. So we can look at it. Oh, it's a mushroom, blah, blah, blah. Fungus. Awesome. So let's take it. So we take that mushroom. It disappears from the room. Now we only have 3 over here in our places and object, but we also have 1 in our inventory. So if I was to drop it, watch in our places and object drop. So now that I dropped it, now we have 4. Okay, so we can also come back and take it, and that's going to give us our mushroom back. Now, if you don't do it the way we scripted it from our previous parts in our series, it will not work like this. It will not work like this, I promise. This is the best way to go about it, especially when it comes to cloning objects. So we picked it up. Let's pick up our other mushrooms. Take error running script can add. I have no idea. No idea. But let's look at our stack. Now we have 3 mushrooms. So pretty much we could sit here and eat 3 mushrooms. So let's go ahead and eat it. Eat it. We eat 1, and we see how all of our health, our hunger, our thirst, everything changed. And now we look at the stack. Now we only have 2 mushrooms left. So let's eat another one. Boom, everything changes again. Our hunger keeps going up, but everything else goes down. Let's eat our last one and see what happens. Stack, we only have 1 left, so let's eat it. Boom. And now it disappears and we have no more mushrooms in our inventory, but we still have 1 left in the world. So what do? Let's take it. Oh, let's look at our stack. Oh, we have 1 mushroom. Let's go ahead and eat it. So we eat that. Now our thirst is at total 0. Our hunger is up to 21, but our health is down to 17. So you see how our little stacking from, let's go back to our mushroom and find our take script. So this is our take script and our drop script. If you did not see these, be sure you go back to the previous tutorial, because this will tell you how to do all this, and it makes cloning a lot easier, makes it awesome, makes you be able to actually use the item itself without having to refer to 117 different clones, which is very difficult when you start involving loops and everything else. But that's going to do it for now, guys. I hope you enjoyed, and I hope you'll be able to eat many mushrooms. And until next time, guys, I'm Oni Mike. Later.